Well, you know what then? Then I'll just
pull
start.
the curtain back on what you do away from here. It could be bad.
That's fine. I'll just start shaking your guys' hands and say my goodbyes if that's the case. Pulling A.J. Brown.
Whoa.
That's
Okay. Okay.
How do you like? I listen. It's a playoff game, so temperatures are high. Everybody wants to win. It's a lot on the line, but how do you drop the ball?
Which time?
Right, one of the times. The time where they hit where Serriani ran down the sideline and had something to say to him. How do you drop the ball and then start beefing with the coach? I was confused. I ain't gonna lie. I was confused. I mean, he did not get targeted very much, but you would assume if you're going to get a target when you're not getting targeted very much, you'd catch it when they throw it to you.
Here's a thought.
There you go. Hey, just catch it. I was confused about that, but I was confused about that game altogether. So there's that. I'll get out of the way and let y'all go.
Well, let me ask this: what's the feelings there in Philly? You won the Super Bowl last year. Jalen Hurts, I don't think, threw a pass that was longer than what Juwan Jennings threw for the 49ers. The offense, led by Kevin Patullo, has been criticized, inconsistent, lacking creativity, not very productive. Like, what's the fallout here? Is this a one-and-done year for Patullo as offensive coordinator? Is A.J. Brown truly gone after this offseason? It sounded like from postgame, he kind of said his goodbyes. I mean, is that where this whole thing's going?
You got to be out of there, man.
Yeah, it's not.
That's too toxic.
There was, I can understand if it was isolated incident. As LeVar said, temperatures are running hot. It's a playoff game. I get all that. But it's not even just that there was stuff that was going on this year. This stuff was happening last year, too. So this is now multiple years in a row that he's either not happy or something's going on. And, whether he doesn't like Jalen Hurts or he doesn't like Nick Sirianni.
It would be a horrible conclusion.
I mean,
but catch the damn ball so you can have a little bit of relevance to your argument. He didn't do himself a solid yesterday. That's all I would say.
Yeah, it was not great.
That's a rat for him. You win a Super Bowl, you could get out of the way of drama. He's too good to just put him out there. Somebody's going to get a quality get in A.J. Brown. He's got a lot of football left in him. A lot of good football left in him. It's going to be I'm curious what's his contract situation? He's still under contract, right? If he goes, they got to trade him.
Yeah.
If they cut him, which they're not going to cut him, he's too good to get cut. He's a guy that you could get, you could get some value out of. But it's not going to move forward with him. And as far as offense coordinator, this offense went downhill. I mean, it just did. It wasn't the same offense. Didn't look the same. Didn't feel the same. Didn't operate the same. And when you have such high expectations and you have that type of a roster, I didn't know what was probably the most damning. I'm not going to say I don't know. I think the most damning part of last night's game is that you're dealing with a patchwork team. And listen, maybe Kyle and Salah will prove that coaching and motivation and strategy and a will to win can outweigh the Jimmies versus the Joes. But as far as I know, for as long as I've been a part of athletics, doesn't matter what sport, it's always the players that are the reason why you win or why you lose. Again, I argue the fact that I think coaches are super, super important. You got to have great coaches. But if this team can go to the Super Bowl and potentially win the Super Bowl with this group of guys, I don't know what that means for how we look at players versus coaches. I think it totally can create a debate on the narrative of, do you need high-end rated players? I mean, we're looking at Indiana. They're about to play for a national championship. Maybe it changes the narrative on looking at high-end players and how they're treated.
Yeah, I it's just not working. Like, I mean, like, I don't know how many more examples there needs for people to see this play out. Like, the Niners' defense is awful. Like, they've been bad for the entirety of the year. Like, they're banged up. And Philly made them look like they were the Niners defense that was, carrying them to a Super Bowl a few years back. I don't know, man. I don't know what Philly's answers are. I know Nick Sirianni was asked afterwards about the heated exchange with A.J. Brown and tried to make sense of it all.
Yeah, I was trying to get him off the field, because we were about to punt, and that was really it. So I love AJ. I think he knows how I feel about him. I have a special relationship with him. We've probably went through every emotion you can possibly have together. We've laughed together. We've cried together. We've yelled at each other. We're both emotional. I was trying to get him off the field, and you never want. That happens in this game. That happens in this game, but I love him.
So you gonna run up in his face to get him off the field?
Big picture question. Okay. In this coaching cycle, you've got John Harbaugh. All right, he seems to be the belle of the ball. Maybe Stefanski's up there too. Mike McCarthy's name's being tossed around, and there's some others. But I think would we all agree those are the top 3 candidates? However you want to look at it. Is there anyone else you throw in the mix?
I wouldn't look at McCarthy.
Okay, so just those top 2.
Yeah. Okay. I look at those 2 far and away.
If Nick Sirianni became open, would he be?
No.
I mean, you can't debate his body of work though. His body of work is he's been crazy productive. Maybe a little rough around the edges, maybe a little abrasive from time to time. I mean, but he gets results. I would have to say yes. Conventional wisdom would say if Nick Sirianni became available as a coach, he would be a highly sought after coach. Yes. Didn't they win the NFC East this year?
Yeah.
I mean, they came in as a number 2 seed. I mean, you asked the bid yesterday, 3 seed.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a home game.
No, he's had a great. I mean, his body of work is there. Like the idea a couple of years ago that he was even on the hot seat after the disappointing year that they had and finished to the season. I would agree with you. He's been fantastic from a record standpoint. I just think there's enough people out there that view them as Howie Roseman built, and they could find somebody to coach that team, right or wrong, and get the same or maybe better results, especially this year. That's kind of my read on it. So I don't think that he would.
So it is the personnel.
I think
they didn't overcome coaching yesterday.
No.
But if it is the personnel, then they should have been able to overcome That is by far the most depleted team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
By far, not even close.
Well, I don't know. The Chargers are pretty depleted too.
As depleted as the Niners?
Their offensive line, yeah. I mean, if you look at 5 starters, for example, like their offensive line is about as depleted as they get.
Well, even if that's the debate, even if we made the Chargers the debate, what happened to the Chargers is what should have happened to a depleted San Francisco team. They should have lost.
So you put Kyle Shanahan coaching the Las Vegas Raiders. How does that change things for them?
They would become a playoff team within 2 years.
Okay. So, but okay, we don't know that they're not going to become a playoff team in 2 years with another head coach that might take over.
I would say
you got to have talent. All right, like you got to have talent. Now, I think in
the Raiders have talent. I think they do have talent.
They have some.
Some.
Their roster's not the same as the Eagles. Their roster's not the same as others. Like, let's not kid ourselves. there's some bad football teams, and the rosters aren't the same. These are two more, equated football teams. We can look at, Bosa being out, Warner being out, Kittle going out in this game, which, by the way, it's awful. And it lends itself to, if anyone's been on social media, you've probably seen at this point a lot of the conspiracy theories around the substation.
Oh, yeah.
That's right there next to, is it still Levi Stadium, their practice facility there in Santa Clara?
Yeah.
I mean, I've called games there. I'll tell you, it's real. It's there. I'm not smart enough, or I don't know anything about it, but it is very enticing to read this article talking about, the electromagnetic pulse or whatever else that supposedly has impacted the 49ers, and it's at least a theory as to why they've had so many soft tissue injuries. Is that the gist of it, Jonas?
Yeah, and I think like Dr. David Chow, got in on it and said, well, it's a stretch to say that that's everything, but, when you see how many injuries they've had and, they look at just the levels and how much it's impacting the surrounding areas, I mean, it's at least worth, a conversation to be had, because it is bizarre that think about the potential Hall of Fame players that have dealt with issues on the Niners just this year. So Kittle's out, Fred Warner's out, Nick Bosa's out. Right there.
You gonna put that on a pulse, breaking your ankle, popping your Achilles?
I'm telling you, man. You look at the article. It's like
if you read the article,
lot to it.
And there's a guy who went and actually measured it. Like, he went to the practice field, he went to the stadium. He's kind of measuring it, going, yeah, if they're subjected to this over this long period of time, and obviously Kittle, who's been there for a long time, McCaffrey's had his injuries for a long time, and we can go on down the line of players they've had, and it sounds awful, but I mean, and by the way, this isn't like the first time we've seen a NFL franchise have to deal with putting their practice facility near something that could be harmful to the players. Like, I remember when I was part of the St. Louis Rams, they had their practice facility in, I think it was Earth City, like there in Missouri. It was like downwind from, I want to say, a dump or something like that. And there was concern over there being like toxic, chemicals in the air from being downwind of that.
Wait, really?
And I'll be the first to tell you, I have never, ever been on a practice field in my life, all right, that smelled like that practice field smelled on a windy day. And if you think we weren't ingesting something that was probably bad for our health, you're out of your damn mind. Like it couldn't have been in a worse spot. So yeah, the move to LA could have been twofold. Buddy, let me tell you, go look back up Earth City and like where the St. Louis Rams old practice facility was.
Dang.
That place stunk. It was like there was, I don't know what was being processed or what was going on. But people used to be like, this can't be good for our health. Ask guys who Sam Bradford, ask guys who were Chris Long, who were there for a long time, James Laurinaitis, they'll tell you, like, there was something going on there, man.
Yeah. It's
God bless. I hope y'all are okay. I mean, would there be claims connected to this?
I gotta look, like there might have been something.
Hey, Reggie Bush got what do you get, $10 million for that turf issue?
Which, in his defense, I mean, again, there wasn't a lot of, like, it was kind of slick around that the dome. What was the Edward Jones Dome or whatever
Edward James? Then? Was it Edward James? Yeah, I don't know. It was
Edward Jones.
Whatever. James Jones.
There's Raymond James, there's Edward Jones. They're both financial institutions, but
is what it is.
I would say Eddie James is more the pimp version. He's the financial one.
Yeah.
You want some investing done, you come to me. Eddie James.
Dang.
Well, now they got the Battlehawks. They're fine. They're good.
Oh, don't do that.
What?
Jonas has a battle hawk.
Damn.
We're burying the lead. We're burying the lead.
Let's get back on track.
We are burying the lead.
Okay.
San Fran.
Dump poisoning.
San Fran beat what was a fully operational, pretty much fully operational, returning to the playoffs, defending their title
This
Eagles
offense
team.
has struggled all year. Like let's be real. Like this isn't on the defense, in my opinion. This is on the offense. Patullo has never found a rhythm with Jalen Hurts. I think there's questions probably about Hurts and his ability to, be the quarterback they need him to be in the passing game. It's been a struggle. And by the way, some of that has to do too, I think, with what Hurts has been given year after year after year, like constantly have to change coordinators. It's tough. Look at Baker Mayfield. We've talked about how difficult it is in Tampa to deal with a new coordinator every single year. And for some reason with Kevin Patullo and an offensive line that's better than most, weapons and Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, Jahan Dotson, whoever want to point to.
It's too many.
That's what I'm saying, but they don't stretch the field.
Yeah.
They don't throw it down the field.
And you got to ask
Juwan
why.
Jennings almost had a 30-yard pass yesterday. It was longer than anything did Hurts even throw the ball over 15 yards?
I don't know.
The worst thing that could
Maybe
ever
once.
happen to Jalen Hurts yesterday is that Tom Brady was calling his game. I'm sitting there like, dang, Tom. He was like, and I don't think he meant to S on him, but he kind of was like pointing it out like, hey, look, this right here, he had a clean pocket. What you getting all jittery and jumpy for?
Yeah,
what did you?
The last drive where
he did it early too, though. I mean, he was rolling out to his right. He pointed out very easily and clearly, like you're cutting yourself off half of the field, and if no one's open on that side of the field, then you don't have any options. I mean, it didn't look good, and I don't know that there's an easy bailout for it. Again, I think when you have that type of a showing in that big of a game, it's got to fall at the feet of two people. They get all the credit when you win. They get all the credit when they lose. And that's the head coach and that's the quarterback.
You know what's great about Philly, though? If you win a Super Bowl as a head coach, that could keep you employed at that place
for at least
most
10
places.
more games.
I mean, Jeff Fisher was getting gigs for years because he went to a Super Bowl. In Philly, you could go to a Super Bowl and then go to another one and actually win it.
And still be on the hot seat after losing.
Sorry, buddy. Sorry. There's what have you done for me lately?
Funny because we're talking about a person and their well-being. But
like there's what have you done for me lately, and then there's Philly.
Gone. and listen, I tell people all the time, that's the same fan base in Pittsburgh. Same type of people. Pennsylvania fans are, man, the way they do things is wild.
Yeah, but Tomlin hasn't had to deal with this. And he went to a Super Bowl and won another one.
He's had to deal with some intense scrutiny, bro.
I don't know.
He's had to deal with some intense scrutiny, and let them boys not show up tonight. We may be having the same conversation tomorrow.
It's just like if you looked at Philly and you're like, and I know Lane Johnson was out, but if you looked at Philly and you're like, all right, so you give me Saquon Barkley, Devontae
who ran
Smith,
for over 100 yards.
Yeah, you give me A.J. Brown.
He was having effectiveness on the ground.
Dallas Goedert
was getting his man.
Like, that should be like, what am I missing here?
Bro, their defensive front, their defense was in full, they were intact. And they were getting laced up in the routes by guys that were not, not number ones. Not number ones. I don't get that. I thought it was a poor defensive showing by Philly. I really did. I thought they would have been better versus the pass, or I'd have thought that they got more pressure on Brock Purdy and forced him into mistakes. Brock Purdy won that game with his arm.